We'll now start. So welcome everybody to today's licensing subcommittee meeting. My name is Jade. I'm the Democratic Service Officer and I'll be clerk for today's meeting. We have Councillor Fraser as chair. So if I hand over to you.
Thank you very much. So again, welcome everyone to this licensing subcommittee. And as you've been told, I'm the chair, but I've got two other people with me.
Councillor Joan Henry, a member of the committee.
And Councillor Jill.
Councillor Jill Hall.
Right. Okay. So, and the hearing is already gone live. And please be aware, as the meeting is being held virtually, there might be slight delay in which we have passed over. Participants will be muted and they are not speaking to reduce background noise. Could you also make sure that your phones are off, please, or on mute, so that they don't go and affect everybody else? Yeah. If anytime anyone experiences technical difficulties, this should be led to the clerk, which is Jade. And in the event of any party to the hearing loses connection and they're no longer present in the meeting, we'll adjourn the meeting immediately for a few minutes while we resolve the issue. In the event of issues cannot be resolved, the meeting will be rescheduled for another date as soon as practical. Are there any declaration of interest from anyone?
No.
No. Okay. I need apologies. And any apologies at all?
No.
Can I just ask, are you two Patels, both of you?
Yes.
Okay. Because we only had one name, that's right.
Yeah, because I got hearing impairment.
Okay.
So she's going to help me if I misunderstand a question or something that I'm missing. So she's my wife. So, and we've been partners in the business. So she's sitting in with me, just if the chair doesn't mind.
That's fine, no problem. Just wanted to know. And so can Elizabeth introduce herself, please?
Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth MacDonald. I'm the licensing officer today.
And Paul? Can't hear you.
Muted.
You're muted.
Paul Greeno, legal advisor to the committee.
Right. And I think there's one, as I said,
Yeah.
person missing.
Everyone's got their hands raised.
Okay, sorry.
Hi.
Avril. Yeah,
Thank you,
sorry,
Chair. Thank you. Yeah, I'm Avril O'Brien. I'm the police licensing officer that covers the London Borough of Merton. But I also just wanted to say my colleague, Sergeant Matt Bower, was going to try and join, but he's been called away. He may try and drop in if that's okay, just in case you see that name coming up. Thank you.
And thanks very much. Okay. So, and there is also, what's the name? Taylor and yeah, Chopra.
So we've just got
Only one person.
yeah, just the applicant
Okay.
and
That's fine.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. The license subcommittee will follow the hearing procedure and copy of which will be included in the notice packs sent to all parties. Have you read these papers?
Everyone's received the packs, haven't they, ahead of the meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. If anyone has not received the papers, you can tell us, but you said you've done that. Okay. All right. Thank you. Elizabeth, can I ask you then that you should be brought the panel to attention?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you. Just that this application is for a new premises license for the sale and supply of alcohol for consumption off the premises. Premises, as stated in the report, is in the Mitcham Cumulative Impact Area. Cumulative impact is defined as the potential impact on the promotion of the licensing objectives of a number of licensed premises concentrated in one area. Licensing Authority have published a cumulative impact assessment for the Mitcham Town Centre. The special policy includes new applications for off sales of alcohol. There has been communication between the applicant, the police and the licensing authority, and the relevant documentation should be before you. I think the parties are best placed to explain their position to the committee, and I think it's for you to decide whether this satisfies any concerns you may have. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
And so, oh, what was he saying?
Paul, did you want to add anything?
Just to advise that because this application concerns the operation of the cumulative impact policy, then as members are aware, not only does the council's own statement of licensing policy give guidance to members on considering the application, and also to both interested parties and the applicant on completing applications and making representations. There's also the new licensing guidance from February of this year, and paragraphs 14.20 to 14.48 sets out matters concerning the cumulative impact policy, and some number of those paragraphs actually relate specifically to the consideration. The leading authority in respect of cumulative impact is the case of Brewdog and Leeds, and in that case the district judge held that it cannot be the policy of the cumulative impact policy to bring the iron curtain clanging down to allow such clubs continue to trade while shutting out Brewdog, which attracts more discerning customers who do not engage in binge drinking. Essentially, what that case is providing is, in consideration of the application, the mere fact that a premises is in the cumulative impact area does not mean that that is an automatic ground for refusal. You need to consider the application, and you need to consider whether there are any specific characteristics about the application which would satisfy you that the operation of the premises would not lead to an increase in crime and disorder in the area.
Finish. Thank you very much. Mr. Vijay Patel, can you tell us your position, please?
My position is very from the outset. If I chair Councillors Office of the Metropolitan Police, I stand before you today with my hands joined, my head bowed, in respect to the committee. Although I'm not, it's not a legal requirement, but I choose to state that it is in my hand where on the Bhagavad Gita, that everything I say today is truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I'm a 75-year-old. I'm not a legal expert. I'm a shopkeeper of 40 years, speaking from my heart, to ensure the total transparency for the community I have lived and served for decades. So shall I tell you something more about myself?
Could you present the case that you've come forward, please?
Certainly. Okay. Basically, my history is, my name is Vijay Kumar Patel, and I'm the applicant. And I want to speak to you directly because I think it matters who is behind this application. I've been at 256 London Road since 1985. When my wife and I took this property, it was a derelict. It was an empty shell, vacant for 18 months. We invested approximately £90,000 in late 1980s to bring into use, and further 90,000 in 1995 to continue renovation. The rear property was demolished, and a new build cost of £1 million was completed in 2010. In 1985, the total business rates payable was around £1,500 per annum. Today, the council benefits approximately £15,000 per annum from 2 retail and 5 flats I'm not a transitant operator with no stake in this area. We have invested substantially in this community over 40 years, and we want to continue contributing to this responsibility, and very responsibly. My attempts to engage the police before the application was submitted. My licensing agent made 3 documented attempts to engage the Metropolitan Police on 13th of November 2025. We wrote to then licensing officer PC Russ Stevens that email was undeliverable as he had left the force. And then 8th of December 2025 again on the 5th of January 2026. Follow-up emails were sent to the 2 Merton Council licensing officers specifically requesting correct contact for licensing matters. No one of those 3 communications received a response. The first substantive engagement I received was not a conversation, it was an objection, seeking an outright refusal, with no prior discussion or changes made to address the police concerns. I say this because it's relevant to how this application should be assessed. I have sought to dialogue at every stage. This office remains open, and I sincerely believe that it should remain open. The community impact zone, I accept that this premises falls within the Mitcham Town Centre community impact zone. That burden of reporting the presumption lies with me. However, revised guidance under section 182 of the Licensing Act of 2003 is clear. The CIZ creates a rebuttal presumption, not an absolute prohibition. Each application must be assessed on its merits. The question for this subcommittee is not simply whether the premise is within the CIZ. It is whether granting this application should actually add a community impact problems. And the CIZ was created to address. 4, the repositioned business model, which when I read his presentation carefully, I did not look for technical defenses. I asked myself what would generally address the concerns raised. The answer was to change the nature of the business entirely. I'm proposing to operate a boutique artisan deli, focus on fresh flowers, artisan bread, specialty cheeses, gourmet pantry items, curated selections of wine. No single cans bottle of beer, lager, or cider will be sold. No super strength products at above 7.5 ABV will be stocked. This is not a conventional off-license. It is a different type of business, serving a different customer base, a different price point. A person seeking a cheap alcohol is not going to walk into a deli selling artisan bread and specialist cheeses to find it. At this point, the premises do not add a community impact problem. 5, the 28 conditions this application included 28 detailed enforceable conditions across all 4 licensing objectives, volunteered at the point of submission. They cover comprehensive CCTV to prove satisfaction, incident and antisocial behavior logs, refusal register, challenge 25(8) verification, mandatory refusal of sale of intoxicated persons, no strict signage, and no annual staff training. There is no added, relatively, that we proposed from the very outset. The police presentation did not engage with a single one of them. 6, the supplementary evidence. Mr. Chopra at the site, the subcommittee has now been witness statement from PC O'Brien. She's done some diligent work, I can say that. Dated the 9th of March 2026. Based on a site visit conducted on the 6th of March, that visit took place after 28 days of consultation period had already closed on the 16th of February of 2026. The statement was placed before the subcommittee 48 hours before this hearing. I have no proper opportunity to respond to it, as I was away on a vacation, and I asked the subcommittee to bear this in mind. The statement records conversation with Mr. Sujit Ram Chopra, who helps to run the day-to-day business at the premises. I went to be straightforward about why Mr. Chopra account, as recorded, does not accurately reflect the intended business model. Mr. Chopra's first language is not English. In January 2026, before this application was submitted, I spoke to Mr. Chopra directly and set out clearly what the new business would look like. I told him good quality imported wine from France, Italy, South Africa, Argentina, Australia, and New Zealand. Range of cheeses include blue cheese, cottage cheese, cheddar, brie, sourced from across Europe. Territory of deli items, fresh and frozen food products, fresh flowers. I also told him clearly, no single cans of beer, lager or cider, nothing above 6.5 ABV. That entirely consistent with what I told the police, and this is in this committee throughout. Mr. Chopra was visited unannounced, asked to describe the business. He did so in the way he understood it, in a language that is not his own. That does not mean he was dishonest. It means the language barrier led to miscommunication. I asked the committee to consider that straightforward expression before drawing any adverse inference. The police have exhibited photographs of separate premises, VP Wines in Rose Hill. There's nothing to do with me, and invited the inference that Mitcham will be run in the same way. VP Wines is a different business in a different location, operating under different conditions. The specific restrictions I have committed to this application should be made for 246 London, structurally different from that premises. The subcommittee should assess this application's own terms. 7, the police approach to this application. I want to say something brief about the way this process has unfolded, because I think it's irrelevant to subcommittee's overall assessment. Relevant to subcommittee's overall assessment. Every concern that has not been raised by the police description of the business, the product and Mr. Chopra account, but have been raised and discussed with me during the consultation period. This is what a 28-day period is for. Had PC O'Brien engaged in a constructive dialogue, I sought from November of 2025 onwards, consulting might have been unnecessary. Instead, the energy would have been directed at the dialogue and then been directed in conducting an unannounced site visit after consultation period closed, preparing this witness statement, submitting in 2 days before this hearing. I say not to be critical for any individual, but because it's relevant. I have done everything asked as of a responsible applicant.
Mr. Patel, I'm just thinking we're going quite far into everything, and we have limited time to put everything through. Just 1 second. So could you try and keep to the application so that we know exactly what's saying? Okay, thank you.
Well, basically, I'm saying to you is that this business is the premium deli, selling Belgian chocolates, specialty cheeses, gift-wrapped wines. So it should not have any strict and no super strength like single cans or super strength alcohol, no miniatures. I've built a very fine wall with my business and the issue of the street drinking and CIZ 60%.
Okay.
I really sort of engage with the police and work with them, not against them.
Thank you so much. Okay. Questions now. Avril, have you got any questions? Any questions?
No, thank you, Chair. Nothing from me.
No, thank you. Okay. Elizabeth, have you got any questions to ask?
I don't know. Thank you.
Okay. Jill, have you got any questions, Councillor Jill?
Yes, I have. Thank you very much for your application, Mr. Patel. And I have visited your shop, and I wanted to ask you, what experience do you have of running quite a different business? You know, what you're setting out here is a very specialist offering, and I wondered what research you'd done into the demand for this very different offering that you plan to make in your shop. And also, you would need to do quite considerable changes to the shop, which would require considerable investment in money. And I must admit, I'm slightly sceptical about the demand for this specialist offering in this area. So I just wondered what research you've done and what experience you have in running this type of business.
Thank you, Mr. Patel.
Chair, it's a very interesting question. Mitcham has had a terrible, in 40 years I've been there, and I see exactly the question being asked. Experience? Well, I introduced picture framing I had no experience of. I introduced art and craft in Mitcham when I had no experience of. I started doing black and white photos into color I had no experience of. Coming to the point of running this business. We have closed, Morrison's are gone. We had Quick Safe, that's gone. We had Sainsbury, that's gone. We need somebody, not walk all the way to Asda or all the way to Lidl. They can come, and if they want to present and buy box of Belgium good quality chocolates, I'm sure one of you will go there, present it nicely, and that will be the start. We want to encourage good quality business. We do not want barbers. We do not want nail polishers, which this is literally completely, the whole place is littered with them. We want quality. We want to try and get Starbucks or Costa Coffee. We want to bring those people in to say this is a good place. It's a good place to do business. So yes, experience, nil. Vision, yes. Spending money, both of us spent £1 million. We started with nothing, with £300 in our pocket, but we given everything to Mitcham, building a new building from scratch and spend £1 million. So what is spending another £30,000 or £40,000 and renovating the shop and giving people, the community, something they will enjoy coming into?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Is another question.
Thank you. Thank you for your report. And I would just like to say, you know, I am pleased that you're bringing something new into Mitcham. And, you know, we need new shops. We need different products. We need to uplift Mitcham. And it sounds like something good. But at the same time, what my concern is, at present, we're having quite a lot of problems with drinkers, you know, and also, you know, we spend thousands and thousands of pounds to keep the area clean and tidy. How are you going to ensure that, you know, you work within the what the police and ourselves are asking for to ensure that you work in between the lines to keep our citizens, you know, safe?
Well, I've already volunteered on 28 conditions from the very beginning. You know, it wasn't asked of me, and I've done it. I have also put my name forward to the mayor's join his I've forgotten very close. You know, the wave, and the other one was his initiative towards protecting the children, protecting the vulnerable women. I have joined his policy only about 2 weeks before I left on vacation. So it is protecting all the vulnerable people, and also the CCTV, which I will introduce, will help for the police to monitor it, come and it's be logged. If somebody's been refused, they'll be logged in. All those things will be taken care of from the outset. It's not something that are taken lightly. Being 40 years and running a business from complete scratch, and I'll ensure my tenants will go that route and not anything else. And also to make it sure to the committee, the chair, that there'll be a deed of variation in his lease, that he has to form and conform to the rules. What you decide today, he has to, otherwise he will, he will lose his lease.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we move on. Avril, have you got a presentation for us?
Any
Yes,
comments?
Chair, if I may, it'd be brief. Thank you. I'm here on behalf of Metropolitan Police to make representations against this new application for VJ's off licence. The description of the business in the original application was the premises as a shop with stationers, mobile repairs, household goods, located on a ground floor with 550 square feet. Alcohol sales are intended for off-site consumption. I want to acknowledge Mr. Patel, who said that the lack of engagement from myself or the team as a whole. We do aim to engage during the consultation period with applicants. However, this is not always possible due to being abstracted to other places and shortages. And this is not a fault of Mr. Patel's, but I just wanted to raise that it was not intentional. It was due to operational needs. And again, on the 11th of February, I contacted Mr. Patel to say that I'd be objecting to the application due to the ASB and crime within the town centre, along with the fact that the area is covered within the CIZ. In response, Mr. Patel said that the business was a high-end specialist delicatessen. Alcohol is intended to be ancillary to the primary sale of premium food products, including artisan bread, cheeses, olives, and such like from around the world. The original application stated that no beer, cider, lager would be above 7.5 ABV. In further correspondence with the licensing manager for the London Borough of Merton, he stated that he would agree to a condition where there'd be no alcohol, cider, or beer, or lager and cider would be sold above 6.5. And there just seems to be inconsistencies, because then there's mention again in a later email to me saying that there would be no ABV above 7.5. So I thought with that's one point that I wanted to bring to the subcommittee, because of the inconsistencies in what is being proposed. I then responded to Mr. Patel on the 12th of February, pointing out the differences in the business description from the original application. Mr. Patel then responds and apologises for any confusion, and said that they were in the process of evolving the business model, where the previous email says we are a high-end delicatessen. Again, I wanted to bring that one to the committee. As you know, where the business is situated in Mitcham Town Centre, and it is covered by the CIZ, and we're all aware of the issues in Mitcham Town Centre with street drinking, the drinkers issuing verbal abuse, fighting, littering, public urination. It's not a welcome thing, and I believe that this will just continue with another venue providing alcohol for off sales. I do note the applicant, Mr. Patel, has proposed some conditions, again going back to the no high strength lager, beer, ciders, but I do not believe that these will address the core issues. Individuals who are seeking to get a drink, they will take whatever is going, whether it be high or low. A drink is a drink, in my opinion. Again, as pointed out in my original evidence, the Safer Neighbourhood team, along with Merton Council, have invested considerable time, resources and money into improving the area. And I don't know if you've seen Sergeant Bauer's statement, which covers the money spent by the police alone. I believe that granted another off-sales alcohol licence risks undermining the progress already made by the police and the council. And for these reasons, and in consideration of all the 4 licensing objectives, the Metropolitan Police Service believes the objectives cannot be upheld if this licence is granted. I, on behalf of the Metropolitan Police, respectfully request that the subcommittee refuse its application in its entirety. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Do you have anything to add, Jan?
No.
Jill? No. Okay, thank you. So we move on then. So Elizabeth,
If the applicant has any questions.
Mr. Patel, have you got any questions for us?
I do have questions for the police. I mean, you know, it's already we've gone through this lack of engagement. You know, we submitted 3 attempts, which was unanswered. I really don't understand why PC O'Brien decided to go unannounced without, she knew full well I was on a vacation, and I did state exactly to the licensing officer as well in my email that I'll be returning on the 9th of March. So why go to a place when I'm not there, and why go to another premises which is now has no link with me? You know, I find it very strange that you do this underhanded. I know you're very diligent, Chair. She's very diligent. She has worked very hard to do that. But to go unannounced, that is not acceptable.
Okay, thank you.
Paul wants to come in.
Okay. Paul, did you want to come in?
Just briefly, first off, this is an opportunity for you to ask questions, Mr. Patel, not make statements. But with regard to the visit and the statement from the 9th of March, as has been stated, this is after the close of the consultation period, and whilst members can take note of what was said, Mr. Patel has given an explanation for what occurred, and really it's just a matter for you to decide on what he has said, whether you consider that helps you in any way to determine this application.
Thank you. Okay, so that's that. Elizabeth, have you got anything to say?
Thanks, Chair. I don't believe I've got anything else to add, really, just apart from what our legal officer said, that each application should be considered on its own merits with regard to your policy, the statutory guidance, the licensing objectives. I don't think there's much else to say that hasn't already been said. Thank you, Chair.
Paul, anything extra to say?
No, I've given advice on the relevant leading authority, and as I said, you just need to consider the application in accordance with the licensing guidance, the council's own statement of licensing policy, and the cumulative impact policy. So as long as you consider it on that basis, there's nothing else to add.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Avril, have you got anything to add? The closing statement, yeah.
No, thank you. The only thing I would say is, yes, just considering the amount of issues already in Mitcham Town Centre with the street drinking, and again going back to how the area is trying to be regenerated with local markets and fairs and such like, and the new bandstand. I just you know, it's time to improve the area, not to add to the issues. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And this is the closing statement, not to reiterate anything, Mr. Patel. Just a closing statement, please.
Yeah, Chair, look, I'm 75-year-old. I've been in Mitcham Change for decades. I'm not doing this for personal gain, but to mentor and support my tenant, Mr. Sudhiram Chopra. I want to ensure he succeeds in running a responsible, high-end business. That follows every single one of the 28 conditions I have put voluntarily. I'm putting my 40 years of reputation online to guide him, because Mitcham cannot afford another shop closing down.
Thank you so much. Right now, the licensing subcommittee are about to retire to close the session, and I invite the legal advisor and clerk to join us to provide advice, please. Once I've closed the hearing, our clerk will disconnect you from the meeting. All parties will receive a written copy of the decision within 5 working days. I therefore now close the hearing. Thank you all for your attendance.
Thank you.
Thank you for hearing
you.
me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.